Well, good morning and welcome to Prepping for Prosperity. I'm Steve Smith, and how are you all today? It's good to have you here. Welcome to all the new people who have joined recently. It's great to have you and all the new people who have joined us over on the Patreon channel, where we put extra material, stuff that is really going to help you in your pursuit of prosperity. And the link is right down below in the information, the description box. And I think sometimes I usually remember to put a pinned comment to make it easier to find that and some other things. Let me ask you a question. What's more fun, spending money or making money? that might be a tough one for many people to ask, right? Most people, I think, immediately they would say, well, spending money is more, because what we associate with spending, right? We might spend it on, we might think about spending it on, a trip, a dinner out, ice cream night. We have an ice cream night once a week. We always go to our favorite custard place, Andy's Custard. They're from Springfield up through the Kansas City area. Best custard in the world. Matter of fact, we almost put in a custard shop a long time ago. I'll tell that story sometime because it's a good business story, but not today. Or you might think about buying some new clothes or buying a new car or buying, whatever it is. People love to shop, don't they? Because people love to get stuff. They love to get new stuff. It gives them a high. It makes them feel good. There's a lot of people out there that buy things to make themselves feel better. Isn't that right? You know people like that. You might be one. Hopefully you're not, but you could be. And if you are, it's perfectly human, but it is a situation that you want to work yourself out of, because it's going to make you go broke. I know a woman who was retired, and but she kept working. She worked all the time. And she made the statement one time that she works all the time because she loves to spend money. And I thought, what a sad commentary that was. Now, this is a woman who spent most of her time not working with her daughter and her granddaughter and such as that. But you know what she did? She spent most of her time spending the money that she made on her granddaughter and her grandson. As a matter of fact, she showed a little bit of her internal misplaced needs when she would make statements like, oh, so-and-so makes me buy him all these things, or oh, so-and-so always wants these things, so grandma has to get them. You can see right off that it's replacing the important things of life, which is a true, relationship, a loving human relationship, with buying. We know people who buy friendship, spending money on people all the time. Other people, I'll get this, I'll get that. I knew another guy, always life the party, center of everything, right? And he made a lot of money, actually. But he just loved being the center of attention by buying, treating everybody to Sunday lunch. I'll get the check, I'll get this. And I've known other people like that too. And I think of two really like that I've personally known that made a lot of money, loved to make a big show of spending it, and one died broke and one is dying broke. It's sad, the human need to consume. And it's irresponsible. On the other side of that, on the other side of consuming is producing. And most people don't get the joy out of producing that they do out of consuming, unless they're involved in some business or lifestyle or skill to where they just absolutely enjoy the creation of what they're doing. And that's important. Well, if we look at the best place in the world for our financial advice, which is, and I'm going to read a couple of things here. I'll start with my King James. And if we look in here, we're going to see a couple of things. We're going to read from Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4 first. He says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent make rich." Okay. Now, what does that mean? Now, I will go over, because it's difficult to understand a lot of King James. It's pretty language, but it's not all that understandable. If we go to the New Living Version, it makes it easier to understand. It says, "Lazy people are soon poor." How about that? Yes. "Hard workers get rich." Says it very simply, right? Right? We'll go to verse 22, and let's see what it says. "The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it." And if we go over to the New Living, it says, "The blessing of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." Now, I want to make something clear here, that it is not and should not be our primary desire to become rich in the ways of the world. Okay, when the Bible speaks of that, when the Proverbs speaks of that, and any other place, richness, true prosperity, and all that is far beyond the physical. It's not just the money. It's rich in your relationship with the Lord. It's rich in your relationship with your family. It's rich in your quality of life. It's rich in all those things. But I also want to say and caution those who think that poverty is something to be proud of. And there are too many people like that. Well, I'm just too honest I'm poor because I'm so honest. Or, well, God blesses the poor. Well, he does, but he also blesses those who put their hand to the wheel, right? And that's what he wants, because we are called not just to take care of ourselves. You see, we're not supposed to rest in the hammock of the welfare of others. We're supposed to be able to help others, and we can help others to the extent that we're not just spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, but physically able to help. Okay, appropriately. We're not here just to, somebody keeps making the same mistakes out there and we keep bailing them out. That's not helpful, and that's not loving. So when the Bible talks about us, God's blessing us, it's talking about blessing in many ways, but it is also including in that monetarily and spiritually, as long as that's not our primary goal. If we look over here, what I put on one of my favorite verses on the front of the Stonemont notebook here. I just got a load of books in the other day, and I've got the hardback of this, and it came out beautifully. I don't see it here on my desk. Somebody must have snatched it. Anyway, on the front of this, it's also a verse from Proverbs. It's 16:3. It says, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." And I put down underneath it again, because King James is difficult to understand. It says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will succeed." Well, okay, that's what we're talking about here. First off, commit your works unto the Lord, and then work at it. And when you become so interested in doing the things to which God has called you, and that's really what you need to be looking for. You don't want to just go get a job and be in it. Now, sometimes you have to, right? You have to pay the bills. You have to be in that job and work at it. But what you always want to be looking for is what God has called you to do. And I will tell you from personal experience, that is what makes all the difference. It makes getting up in the morning a joy. It makes working a joy. It turns it around from the most fun thing being buying, spending, shopping, to producing, creating, building. Does that make sense? You're no longer looking to make yourself feel good by buying that new car or that new whatever it might be in your world, that new outfit. Okay, but you're happy with what's going on internally, the creativity, the guidance that you feel the Lord giving you, that He's drawing you in a direction. He is providing the energy for it. He is providing the ideas. That's really where it comes from. You know, I can't sleep very late. I'm always awake before alarms. I wake up when it's dark, before the sun ever even thinks about coming up, because I can't wait. Because the stories, several things now actually, I can't, the story, what to write next in my books, that is coming always in my head. Or what to talk about with you all now is always in my head. And I'm not thinking about what am I going to get out and buy today, right? Rather, what am I going to create today? What am I going to build today? How am I going to be building my family, my future? How am I going to be able to have an effect on others, a positive effect? We all have an effect on others, right? And sometimes it's not so good. But how to have a positive effect on others? How can I help people? How can I help others? What is, and it's not just me, what do I want to do? It's, Lord, what do you want me to do? Pretty much. I hadn't really intended this to get into religion so much, but I'll tell you what, those of you who are religious know that this is the most important thing at the very, very center of our lives and the direction of our lives. Those of you who don't know that, I hope that you'll come to discover that, because it will make a difference in your life that is beyond what you can now even believe. It truly is the most important part. A God-led and a God-driven life. Doesn't mean that we're all that, right? Doesn't mean that we're all perfect and everything we do is just shiny and right. What it means is we let Him guide this imperfect person in a more perfect path. So when you think about what's more fun, spending or making? And here again, when I say making, it's not just the money, but it's creating in your life. That, I'll guarantee you, can determine. If I can see what a person enjoys more, spending or making, I can pretty much tell you what kind of life they have. If it's all about spending, if it's all about getting, if it's all about that, they have an empty life. They have a life that they are continually running on that hamster wheel, right? I hate work, but I gotta work because I want stuff. Whereas the other person who is constantly thinking about creating, building, making, giving, right? Their success, financial and otherwise, comes out of that process naturally and seemingly easily. Does that make sense? So today, take a look at yourself, take a look at your life. Say, what do I like most? What do I enjoy most? Do I like out there and spending it? Or do I enjoy the process of life and the creativity and the producing? The good Lord has given me the energy and the direction to do, because that life is the happy life. Okay? All right. Well, I'm going to jump off here, and I'm going to make another video here in just a second for the Patreon channel. If you're not with us, by the way, welcome to everybody who's coming over there. There really is a lot more over there that's good for you to know and interesting to you. And and like I said, the link is down below. It's only $5 a month, and it's the best $5 that you'll ever invest in yourself. I'm going to be making one on the secrets of cash. A couple of little secrets of cash that you may or may not know, but most people, even if they've heard them before, have forgotten them. And it really is a way, it's a different way of thinking that will have a positive effect on your life. Okay. You all have a good day. Remember, it's in your hands. It's your responsibility, and it's in your hands. But ask His guidance to do it, and you're going to be on the road to prosperity in more ways than just financial. You all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.